What is going on, guys? I'm SceptileMC, your George D, coach of your San Francisco Arcaniners, here bringing my GBA Season 7 Week 9 match against Tup, the coach of the Pittsburgh Pirattatas. I'm just going to get right on into the battle. If you want to see my team builder and how I prepped, the link for that is in the description below. If you wanted to check out a Tup side, you can also go check out his link in the description below as well. But without further ado, he decided to bring the Nidoking, the Blissey, the Staraptor, the Tapu Koko, the Tangrowth, and the Chandelure. So immediately, kind of happy that I don't see like Steelix. I'm happy that I don't see Hydreigon. Happy that I don't see the Slowking. Unhappy that I'm seeing the Nidoking because I know that thing's a massive threat to my team. The Tangrowth obviously is going to be his way of dealing with Garchomp. I know for a fact that either the Chandelure, the Staraptor, or the Nidoking is going to be Choice Scarfed. In my honest opinion, all those Pokemon could also be Choice Scarfed. They could just he could slap Choice Scarf on pretty much anything on that team. The Blissey I'm very happy to see because that is set up fodder for my Garchomp right there. I can easily get to +4 with only using 2 subs, which is all I need to sweep. Yeah, so let me get right on into the battle. I actually don't know when it's going to start. Probably should have checked that beforehand. So I'm not like stuck here. Wow, yeah, they decided. Alright, you are challenged by Pokemon Trainer Tup. You are challenged by Pokemon Trainer Tup. So he decides, as I decide to lead off with my Garchomp, he decides to lead off with his Nidoking. Now, I've led off with Garchomp a lot of times. And I know that if he led off with his Nidoking, it had to cross his mind that my Garchomp could lead. So this is Choice Scarf Nidoking. I'm 100% positive when I make this play. And I go into my Registeel right here. And I know he's Choice Scarfed. I know that he's not any other set. He would not predict me. He could be the Shuka Berry, I guess. But still, I feel like Choice Scarf just works better here. And he makes the switch, which kind of confirms that right there. Because he didn't click Earthquake or Earth Power. And he goes into the Blissey. So I go for my Stealth Rocks right here. And I decide, you know what? He's probably going to get up his rocks, or he's going to Seismic Toss, but I'm pretty sure he's just going to get up his rocks. Could also go for T-Wave right here, if he just wants my Registeel to be crippled like that. But I decide that I'm going to make the switch immediately out into my Garchomp. I want to see what the Tangrowth is. What set is this Tangrowth? So, he actually goes for Stealth Rocks right here. And I'm going to just set up a Swords Dance. So he decides to switch out and go into his Tangrowth on my Swords Dance. And now I did the calc, and HP Ice off an Assault Vest Tangrowth would put me in range of my Salac Berry, as well as +2 gives me the I can 2-hit KO max HP variants after rocks with Dragon Claw at +2. So I go for Dragon Claw right here, and I see the damage, and I'm like, alright. I feel like he has a tiny bit of defensive investment. I'm probably going to have to get some prior damage before I can take him out. And he goes for the Leech Seed, which is interesting because I thought he would go for HP Ice if he had it for sure. But that kind of tells me that he might not have the HP Ice. So right here, I'm just going to make the switch. And I'm actually going to go out into my Registeel again because I do want to try to get off a Toxic against this thing as fast as possible because that's going to help me out. But he goes for Substitute. And I sort of see like where this is going. I'm like, God, I need to find a way just to break this real quick. He doesn't have HP Ice, which means his only attacking move to hit my Garchomp is probably going to be the Giga Drain or the knockoff. So he could be sub Leech Seed knockoff and the Giga Drain with more of a specially defensive variant, but still a lot of physical bulk. But I'm going to go into Suicune right here, which is a little interesting play because, you know, the Suicune can't really break the sub. He has the Leech Seed. He has a super effective Giga Drain. George, what are you fucking doing? Well, I'm going to click Roar. And the reason I'm going to click Roar right here is I just do not care. I really don't. I don't care if I take damage like against the Suicune. It's meant to be there for the Chandelure, but I can still survive a Shadow Ball after a Giga Drain here. And that's really all I need from this. So he's going to go for Giga Drain right here. And I also have the Rest and the Sleep Talk. So again, just not concerned at all by this. Especially once I roar him out, I could possibly go for a rest on that turn. So he's gonna go for, I'm gonna go for roar right here, roar out the Substitute, and I'm actually going to roar him out into Blissey, which is the perfect mon because this is the one mon I can for sure go for rest against. It'd be a little sketchy if he was like a choice spec Chandelure or something and click like energy ball against me, but for, like against this thing, I can always click arrest 10 times out of 10. And yeah, so he's gonna get that nice leech seed recovery right there. Put up that Blissey pretty much back to full. Yeah, he did. And I'm just gonna click rest. I know this is kind of going like slowish right now. I am kind of stalling out, but I'm just getting a feel for his team, trying to see what every set is. I have to get the +1 speed if I want to beat the Nidoking. I have to get to at least +4 attack if I want to beat the Tangrowth. And if I want to OHKO a max defense Blissey, I need +4 attack for Earthquake to KO. So right here though, I kind of see my window by the fact that he doesn't have HP Ice, and his way of dealing with my Garchomp is to go for a Leech Seed, which I have the perfect stop to Leech Seed in the form of Substitute. So he goes for Wish, which I feel to be strange that he has Wish over Soft Boiled, but I guess if he wants to pass the big ass wishes, then he can. He goes into Tangrowth, maybe expecting me just to Dragon Claw or whatever, but I'm going to go for a Swords Dance right here, and we're going to get up to a massive attack stat already. And then right here, I'm just thinking, I'm like, you know what, he's probably just going to go for Leech Seed again. And I'm just going to click Substitute. So I click the sub, and I bring myself down, and he goes for a Substitute. And I'm just like, well, shit. That is an interesting play on your part, because if I went for Dragon Claw, you'd have no chance versus me. So I do click Dragon Claw this time, and I'm just praying. I'm like, maybe he does actually have HP Ice, because HP Ice works very well against Garchomp. Maybe he doesn't have the knockoff, but he goes for the Giga Drain. He pretty much confirms that. And I know it's going to break my sub, but the thing is it barely breaks my sub. It has like almost like, the calc is that it does exactly 25, I think, at the min, and then it goes up to like 28. So I see my window, because I can click Swords Dance right here, and I can go up to +4 as he sets up a Substitute, and that's going to put him in range of a +4 Dragon Claw, I believe. So go for Dragon Claw right here, as he decides just to take it with his sub, and then he's going to go for the Giga Drain again. And with my bulk, I'm able to take that quite nicely, and still not in Salac range, but I am in range of going for 2 Dragon Claws right here. I believe +6 was the roll for 80%, I believe. Which is why I decided just to go for Dragon Claw right there, because after the recovery from the Giga Drain, he would not die to a +6 Dragon Claw because I have no attack investment. But he puts me down to 12 HP. I get my Salac Berry, and I click Dragon Claw again, and that is 1 kill for Garchomp. 1 kill under its belt. We'll see exactly what happens with the other ones. He goes into Staraptor. I'm like, Intimidate? Nope. Quick Attack. That could happen. I'm like, shit, he has Quick Attack. That sucks. But I go for Dragon Claw, and I just take out the Staraptor. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's nice. Who's next? Goes out into Tapu Koko. And I'm just like, Tapu Koko? What does Tapu Koko do versus me? I'm like, I'm just gonna click Earthquake. Maybe he shook a berry. Maybe he shook a berry. Just go for Earthquake. No, I don't see a berry. And Tapu Koko goes down. And I'm looking at Garchomp, and I'm like, Garchomp, you're kind of being an asshole to these guys. What are you doing? And then he goes into Blissey, and I'm like, I don't think this survives for after rocks, a +4 Earthquake. I don't think it does. And I'm just going to click Earthquake, and yeah, we're going to see if it dies. Well, yeah, it dies. And the Blissey's going to go down. And then all he has left is the Nidoking and the Chandelure. And, well, even if they're both Twist Scarf, they don't outspeed me. So, that's going to be the game. Yeah. So we get a 6-0 versus Tup with Garchomp. Garchomp just sets up a sub, sets up 2 Swords Dances, yeah, and then I get the Salac Berry and I win. It's really that simple. It was a good game, Tup. I do apologize that it just went like this. Sub SD Chomp absolutely destroyed. Wow, I had to burp. Sub SD's Chomp absolutely destroyed his team. So I can't really put it like on him for just like playing poorly, because I mean, like, he didn't play poorly. He had his counter out. against Chomp, and it was the only thing on his team that could honestly counter Chomp in a defensive way. It just so happened that my set was able to beat a defense, or like to beat a Tangrowth if it didn't have HP Ice. And he just didn't have HP Ice because the knockoff coverage is better for him because of the Mew. So yeah, guys, that is going to be it. We prevail 6-0 over the Pittsburgh Pirattatas. And that puts us at, I want to say 6-3 plus 14, maybe plus 20. I'm trying to think if it was 14 before or after this. But yeah, guys, so I think I want to say that I'm sorry, I just heard my dad screaming at something, but obviously that's my cue to leave. So if you did enjoy the video, I would appreciate it if you could comment, like, rate, or subscribe. I'm SceptileMC or George, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace!